What's going on, everybody? Welcome to T-Box Talk, episode 48. It is the Masters week. We are very excited over here at T-Box Talk. Gonna get started with weekend roundup. Cover the. You just have to do it right now.
I'm so sorry. God damn it! Is this yours or is this mine?
No, they are never mine. They're never
Fucking
mine. It's
A,
always
dude.
yours. Well, anyways, we're gonna get it started. Weekend roundup. We're gonna cover UCONN win the national championship. We'll do a Masters preview. What are we watching? And then a free-form segment if we have time. Today on the podcast, Will and Josh joining as always. Let's get into it. How we doing, boys?
Good.
Josh, you hydrated now after you decided to crinkle up a water ball in front of the camera?
Yeah, apologies to anybody listening. That was a douchebag move, but
Hey, no free ads.
I didn't want. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is like, you know, we have a process, and I'm all over the fucking place. What can I say?
I mean, we're talking with lawyers. We're talking with everybody here at Omada.
It's a busy fucking time, dude.
The last couple weeks have been hell.
We're turning hell. I think a little bit of heaven. I
mean,
like
in
the nice part of hell.
Double-edged sword.
The 5-star hotel in hell.
Yeah, dude. I mean, fuck. I mean, we're starting to turn and burn, baby, and it's all thanks to the people listening, the people watching. I mean,
let's get into the weekend roundup. Josh, you returned to Fenway Park, and you have a new mindset on baseball.
Yes, dude. I'm actually really excited to talk about this because this is something that, I mean, we're a little late for the weekend, like if you think about it, but because that kind of out of my mind, but that was a hell of an experience. Actually, it was on Monday. So like,
yeah.
You guys,
I went to a Red Sox game as well over the weekend. That's why I wanted to bounce some points off each other.
Yeah. So like for anybody listening, like I haven't really been a baseball fan for my whole life. I think like it's been legitimately 15 years, maybe when I was since I was 10 or something. Like when I was in Little League, that was when I enjoyed the game. But outside of that, I really fell away from it. It just bored the fuck out of me. And even like going to the games, they're long and they usually have no meaning because there's just so many in
There's
in a
163 games in a season.
It's just like you could never even think about keeping up. So, but I will say this is like, I went to that game. Now I got a little bit of an experience. Like we did the Green Monster tour, so we like went through the whole stadium. Did you know they actually have on the roof of Fenway a garden that they build that fuels like the whole entire stadium concessions?
What do you mean? Oh, like it's all natural foods?
Like they literally have like probably 500 crates, like a milk crate, up in this on the rooftop behind. Like when it was just outside roof, it was just nothing, and then they decided to build a crate garden on top of Fenway, and the crate garden it fuels like multi-thousands of pounds of food a year that goes right into the concessions at Fenway.
Oh, that's freaking awesome! I didn't know that.
That's wild. I never knew it.
Did you get to go inside the Green Monster?
I don't think we went. When you say inside, what do you mean?
There's a door on the Green Monster.
No, we didn't get to. I kind of missed part of the tour because we were late. But
of course.
But we weren't late for the reason you think. It was impossible to get to the players' parking lot. It's like a mysterious lot. Like it basically is off the grid. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so. They don't want people camping out the players' lot.
Yeah, but the people are already camped out at the players' lot.
So it doesn't even matter.
So like where the entrance is to Fenway, like
there's multiple, yeah, but
like the one where the sausages are at.
Yeah.
That is literally the players' parking lot is just to the right, but they have a barrier in front of it. So it's a street. It's not a parking lot. It's a fucking street that lines Fenway. So, anyways,
Josh just now officially outed the players' parking lot.
Yeah, everybody knows. But the new rules of baseball is what you enjoy. So pitch clock, the 2 pickoff rule. You think it improves the game and the experience of watching?
Yeah, I think that the game has sped up, which also has caused for way more offensive plays.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I don't understand why people don't get that. What I want to see when I go to a baseball game is somebody fucking slam a home run out and drive home a bunch of runs.
Yeah.
That's the action. And actually at Fenway, they instituted a new, did you get any home runs at your game?
So I'm not going to lie. They've had this, the music and the lights that flicker.
Yeah.
That That's been there for the last couple of years.
I mean, that's not last couple of years.
Yeah, but you probably haven't been to a game in a while.
No, I haven't been to a game in a while for sure. But that was cool. I thought
It's
that was
sick.
actually a pretty cool thing. But then again, like the pitchers they have like 15 seconds after every pitch, which means they don't have that infinite amount of time to kind of play chess with the batter.
Yeah.
So there were like 8 home runs in my game.
Yeah, it was sick.
The
game that I went to on Saturday, I think there was like 6 home runs. I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like,
dude, it was electric, and it just like wasn't as long, like, and it doesn't need to be. And if you think, I was saying this to someone at the game, it was like, if you're, and I'll end it right here. It's like, if you're a younger guy or girl trying to go out in the city in Boston, see, Boston sucks dick about, excuse my language, about the fucking. And that was kind of a double negative. Like, Boston sucks dick about the fucking. No, it's the curfew sucks. Like,
yeah.
So if you're going to a Red Sox game and it starts at 7 or 8 o'clock at night and it goes till 11, you can't go out. I mean, you can't get into the line of the bars in like Southie and stuff. But if it only goes like 2.5 hours or something like that, you actually have a little bit of an opportunity to squeak into a couple bars after the fact, which I like.
Yeah, 100%. And, some will argue the faster pace of play ruins the live experience, like when you're there, because you don't have time to like go get a drink, food, this, that. I mean, I had no problems with it. I was right by a beer stand, right by a concession stand. It was boom, like in between like outs, just go grab a quick beer, come back, not really missing much. And if you miss a couple plays, so be it. Like I like the new rules of baseball, speeds the game up. I'll be more excited to watch on TV and stuff like that. But yeah, so it is baseball season. Bagel, what'd you do this weekend?
Well, as you guys know,
happy birthday, Bagel!
Birthday weekend, yeah. Turned the big 2-8 on Sunday, but and Marissa had planned a lot of surprises for me between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we did the bulk of our celebrating on Friday and Saturday. So by the time my birthday actually rolled around, I kind of forgot that it was my birthday. Had a couple great dinners. My parents came down to Narragansett to surprise me on Sunday. Marissa booked me a tattoo appointment. So all in all, it was a great birthday. And I'm looking forward to closing out my 20s in the next 2 years.
Sheesh.
Looking forward to that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Will wants to be an old man.
I already act like an old man. I was in bed at 8:30 last night. I mean, there's no hiding it. And I have no shame in it either.
No.
I know a couple of guys who just like thrive off of being an old man. I mean, we both know Andrew, that our friend Brendan is like.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're probably
old man
like
incarnate. Yeah.
I'd say you're less of an old man. You're more of like a middle-aged man. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
say like 45. Like I'm like mid 40s.
Yeah, mid 40s. Like I'd even give you high 30s. Like, cause like I feel like at high 30s,
You do like to have fun though.
like 38 years old is when that's prime time golf and like children and kids and fucking all that bullshit and
Early
like,
dad shit.
Yeah,
taking the kids out on the course, taking them to ski mountains. Yeah, I'm all about that. Except I just don't have kids.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming on Monday night you watched, and we'll get right into it, the UConn Huskies win the national championship.
UConn.
So Will has gotten super into the Huskies because he's a UConn guy, and
I kind of hate that chant. I kind of
it
don't
sucks.
like that chant.
Fuck UConn, but like
UConn.
I mean, I won a bunch of money.
Fuck
on it,
UConn.
But that was a
Yeah,
great
what are you
game.
talking about? You won money on that NCAA on their win.
I'm smart because
did,
I
me?
no,
Oh,
I did.
Coochie
I
did.
mean, like,
Did you?
I bet them several times throughout the tournament.
Oh,
so
you
they
bet
made
the
me,
over, yeah.
No, I took them spread.
Yeah, spread was what, +7 or whatever?
Minus
it was?
7.
-7.
And then, but I took them in the Final Four too. I loaded up on them twice. I mean, they won every single game in the tournament by double digits. Like, that's a dominant performance from UConn. A lot of people are saying it was a shitty final game. I don't know how you can look at it because, like, you do want to see a close game in the championship, but also it's kind of cool to see a team that's clearly the best in the tournament this year just fucking dominate, you know?
Not
yeah,
really.
I mean, I enjoyed every game. I mean, for me, like watching live sports and being engaged in it is like almost stressful for me. So like when they were dominating every game, like I felt like much more relaxed when like I think there was like 1 or 2 points in that SDSU or the final game where they were within, I think they were actually tied at one point. They were within single digits and then UConn pulled away in the second half. and I could like breathe finally.
Yeah, it felt like San Diego State would like cut it to 10, cut it to 8, and then UConn would open it back up to 13, and then the closest it got was like 6, and then all of a sudden it's a 16-point game and UConn is a national champion. It's like, what the hell happened? Like they dominated, and it was a great game to watch.
Even Jordan Hawkins playing with his stomach issue. I mean, he played that game against, what was it? What was the game before San Diego State? Miami?
Miami.
Yeah, he looked like a completely different shade of, like, he looked gray. Like,
Yeah.
he looked sickly. And, he couldn't really, like, he could shoot, but he really couldn't move up and down the court that much. So he came through in the final game as well. And a lot of those players did. I mean, it's a very dynamic team.
What's crazy is that Sonogo, who won the tournament player of the year, played the last 3 weeks of the tournament while
It's Ramadan. Yep.
Is it celebrating Ramadan or
It's like
practicing Ramadan?
So you don't eat from sun up to sundown.
Or
basically
drink
it's
any
basically
fluid.
it's basically like Easter for like Christians, essentially, in my opinion.
In terms of like fasting and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
you can't have
and
meat.
omitting
It's
stuff.
obviously a little different, but like the concept is the same. I mean, they're just trying to be sort of like traditional in that,
Yeah,
I would love to know what his food intake was like once the sun goes down.
So there are NBA players who have done this before, and you have to be careful because like during the game they can start to eat and drink fluids, but you have to eat and drink the specific things so you don't get all fucked up mid-game.
Right.
So it's like usually like bananas and stuff.
Bananas.
And lots of water when they're able to eat. But like even while he's observing that, he still wins fucking tournament player of the year, which is awesome.
I know. It's like that's the first thing my dad was saying was we were watching like even before the Sweet 16 games. He's like, is he fasting until the end of the NCAA championship? And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's till like mid-April.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Jim Nantz calls his last tournament, has a great final send-off. I think Jim Nantz is the best announcer of all time. And he turns right around and heads into the Masters, which is going to lead us into our next segment, previewing the Masters. This weekend, we're getting some bad weather for the Masters, though, which could be an issue. It's going to rain all weekend down there, which might push the final round to Monday, which would be crazy.
That would be interesting. We could actually watch it in the office.
Yes, we could. We could like almost live stream it if we wanted to. Do you guys have any picks for the Masters?
Yeah. Obviously I want to come out and say that I want Tiger Woods to win. I think a lot of people want Tiger Woods to win. Is that a reasonable and practical pick? Not really. But could he do it? Potentially. And as much as I hate to say it, I really do think Scottie Scheffler's got he's based on
the favorite.
Yeah, he's the favorite right now. So I think like overall, like for me, Scottie Scheffler is going to be my number one pick. I still want Tiger's like my sleeper. And then, I really don't have anyone else. I mean, Rahm's kind of been on a downturn in the last 2 months. Otherwise, I think I'd pick Rahm. Rory has just been pissing me off in the media lately. And I love Rory, but I'm not going to go for him. But I think like maybe Zalatoris or Schauffele or one of those guys could also be in contention for at least top 10.
I'm kind of getting a little bit, I got to be honest, I'm getting a little bit tired of like the drama. And I also am not a huge fan of the way Tiger Woods has been completely like out of the scene. Like my fandom for Tiger Woods is that like watching him play and then watching, I love Tiger Woods. I always will. But I feel like throughout this whole LIV thing mixed with like him not being involved in the documentary that they did, I just feel like he's backing out of the golf scene. It's weird, but you guys feel that at all?
I think he's picking and choosing his battles lately.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, with the injury and just him being older, I mean, like he came out and said that like this could potentially be his last Masters ever.
Did he really?
I'm pretty sure he said that last year, though.
Yeah, like is there any really like hard truth to that? Maybe, but like based on just this past year and like what you're saying is like him pulling out of all these tournaments, it's possible.
So I don't know if I'm going for Tiger this round. Normally I would just say Tiger, no matter what. But now, I thought it was pretty cool. I saw a clip of, who was it? It was JT, Justin Thomas. He went up to, Sky Scheffler, And he said something like after the match when Scotty lost in the final round. Where was it? I can't even remember what turn. It was like a PGA Championship last year or something. But there's a clip of him going up to him after his loss because it was out of nowhere. Oh, it was when Rory won. It's when Rory won last year. What did he win? There was a big tournament.
I'm completely blanking on it.
I don't remember either.
You guys don't remember the tournament? I think it was the PGA Championship.
Might have been.
It was something. Anyway, Rory won like on a fucking like crazy assault. I mean, the last day he put up a score that just narrowed him by on the win. And JT walks up and he said something along the lines of like, you deserve that win all the way, Scotty. Like, there's a reason you're the best golfer in the world. Like, this was your tournament. And you don't see that kind of like sign of respect and whatever from independent players who are competing direct head-to-head. There was a camaraderie there that I thought was interesting, like almost just like an outward respect for a guy like Scotty who just came on the scene and has essentially dominated. I mean,
100%.
He's the only, but I wouldn't even consider anybody else as dominating even like at all.
Yeah, I mean, Scotty won the Masters last year. Could he go back to back? That's why he's the favorite. I'm not sure. I have 5 bets that I've already placed that are all long shot odds.
Okay.
I have Justin Thomas at plus 1,600, Morikawa at plus 2,200, Xander Schauffele at plus 2,200, Hideki Matsuyama at plus 3,600, but he's a little injured right now, so that could be a crapshoot. And I'm taking Max Homa plus 2,700 as well.
He was favored by a couple of people I was reading Golf Digest and stuff.
Yeah, just because he's hot. I mean, he's been hot the last like 6 months or so, but we'll see how there's always an issue when it like comes to the big tournaments. I mean, you see him all over. He's on Part of My Take all the time. It's really funny. Like, they joke around with him. So I'm pulling for him because he's really cool. Like, he's really funny online. So I like him. I hope he wins. But the LIV players, I don't know what it's going to be like. I think what's going to happen is the TV and the media is going to drum up the drama between the two groups because I don't know. I think everybody's solely focused on winning the Masters. I don't think anyone gives a fuck about LIV PGA right now, like the players.
Yeah.
But I think all the coverage is going to be like, look at these LIV players, look at this, look at this, look at this. They're just going to be like, on Twitter, it's going to be like, oh my God, did you see what this player like looked at him like a funny way? Like, they totally hate each other, right? So, like, I don't know. I'm not really that excited for that. Like, I don't really give a fuck.
Dude, I kind of like they are. It's kind of crazy, but even the personalities that did go to LIV, they're kind of the villains.
Yeah, right.
Do you think the media coverage is going to favor PGA players?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I don't know, though.
Like, what would happen if Dustin Johnson wins it or Cam Smith? Like, they could very well win this whole thing.
Oh, I forgot about Cam Smith.
Yeah, he won the Open in England at St. Andrews, and then immediately was
that's
like,
when he went. Yeah,
I'm going to LIV.
I remember that was being talked about, but it happened so quickly, I almost like forgot about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, but that's so true. The way that they're going to create heroes and villains, and obviously the PGA Tour has a far greater impact on American media and just the ties with golf in the U.S. So they're definitely going to spin it off like they're villains. But the bad boys of the Pistons from fucking 1967 or whatever that year was, I mean,
great 30.
People love the bad boys too, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a little negative and positive energy, dude. The world is split in two. Like,
I think some people like to watch like chaos and drama.
Yeah,
So like if
I
a LIV player, like, what if Phil Mickelson fucking wins the whole thing? The guy who started the whole movement.
Nuts.
That would be crazy.
He would be actually the mayhem that would ensue.
He's not even like my 50th choice right now for winning.
You don't like Phil?
I mean, I like Phil, but like
Something
he's just
got-
playing like dirt like the last 6 months.
Yeah, he's getting like $600 billion right now to just play like shit.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
But I mean, I like back to what we were just saying about how like the media favoring PGA. I mean, the first thing that comes to my head is like, when Tiger plays, it's like he could be plus 12 and he'll have 50% of the media.
He'll
coverage.
have his own coverage.
Yeah,
like
he'll have his own fucking
Tigers.
channel.
I want to know how Tiger's doing. I mean, even if I'm not rooting
No,
for
exactly.
him, I gotta know.
It'll
I gotta
be
know.
cool if he's in the mix. It'll be really cool if he's in the mix.
I do want to ask you guys, what do you think about Scotty Scheffler's dinner menu for the
Oh,
the
I haven't
Champions
seen
Dinner?
it. Let's hear it.
He literally ripped a page out of the Applebee's menu. Like, I'm shitting you not. All right, I'll read it off to you, all right? So for starters, you have cheeseburger sliders that have
Nice.
French fries on them, firecracker shrimp, And then we're moving on now to tortilla soup,
Nice.
Texas ribeye steak,
Oh yeah.
and a warm chocolate chip cookie skillet for dessert.
Oh my god.
It's literally like he took you just ripped a page out of like a Chili's or Applebee's menu and just meshed it together.
Wait a second. So he's gonna eat all that before he plays the Masters?
No,
That's the champions dinner. So that's what everyone eats.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And if you look at tigers, it's like blackened sea bass with a goju chang. Like it's just like so funny to see what these guys choose. Like I went and looked back at like Marissa and I were looking at them the other day, like all the Masters menus.
Yeah.
And it's just ironic to see like the polar like opposites between
Matsuyama's Matsuyama's was fucking insane.
Yeah. Like
It was like all like Japanese seafood and stuff. It was fucking awesome.
Wait, I don't mean to say it, but I don't even know what are you talking about? There's a
Okay,
dinner after
so-
the whole event.
No,
Before.
it's before. All the people who have won the Masters previously, whoever wins the previous year gets to plan out a whole dinner, and all the champions sit at a table together, and they all
Oh
eat
my
all that
god, that's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And that's what he put on the menu.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love that.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what? He might be the new kind of American hero in golf. I'm
mean,
starting to like him more and more.
He's like that humble guy. I mean, remember what we were taught? We were going through like Scotty Scheffler fun facts, and like the guy still drives like a Chevy Suburban from college with like 200,000 miles on it.
I wonder if that still holds up. I'm not sure.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point after the cheeseburger sliders on the menu.
The cheeseburgers.
It's
He's
kind
got
of
a bunch of
crazy.
dirty burgers on the menu for the Masters fucking
They got Phil
dinner.
Collins in the Masters grill room.
It's kind of crazy. I think we're coming up on a year of doing this podcast because we talked about all this on the like one of the first few episodes of T-Box Talk.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
was
you
about
have
the
to
Masters.
think we're episode 48, and we've skipped a few. I think 3 or 4 weeks. So that's right around a year. 52 weeks in a year.
We're right around a year.
I mean, dude, I'm a big fan of doing it. I really feel like, flashback. It's funny you said, Clichy, but flashback a year ago. I mean, you're talking about just from this little office. It's crazy to think about, and this is kind of the weird ass world that we live in right now, and in general, is that these two cameras in this room and just the three of us hanging out here having discussions have netted tens of millions of views. I mean, if you actually like stack up all the views over a year, plus like the one that went viral and everything like that, and all the other accounts that have reposted that content,
Right.
Even like all the content we've done as people, like it's crazy to see that.
it is.
you
It's
know?
cool. It's very, very, very cool, actually. And then, like, going back, like, it took me, I think, a week to edit the first episode of the podcast because I didn't know how to use Premiere Pro. And now I pump them out in like an hour. It's kind of like cool to see
It is.
the transitions. and
You
stuff.
dude, it's so hard to see progress while it's happening. Isn't that a weird thing?
Right. It's like when, it was like the end of 2022 and I just wanted to take a half hour and like literally get down to the grittiness and see how many videos I edited in 2022. And it was like 500 and something, which you're not thinking about as you're doing it. But then you look at it at the end of the year and it stacks up so quickly.
Dude, that's why I always tell people too about with like businesses stuff. I'm always like, you don't realize that when you do something consistently for a year, right? Like if you took every day of your time and you applied it to something that you're passionate about or something you like, even if you did 30 minutes a day or an hour a day, if you did that, it's 365 hours in 1 year you give to one thing for an hour a day.
Yep.
It's like, it's crazy to think, even like when you make money in a month, like if you make like we were talking about the other day, you make like, even if you make $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year, you times that by an 8 multiplier, and all of a sudden it actually has a lot of value when you create income and whatnot. So building the business and doing this stuff has been so much fun. It's been a cool experience.
100%. And I think we're all going to sit back this weekend, enjoy the Masters. It's actually my birthday weekend this weekend, so me and Will, born right around the same time. Fun fact for you, Will. Josh knows this. Me and my brother, I'm born on April 10th. My older brother's born on April 11th, 4 years later.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm April 2nd, but my sister's April 16th, and she's 5 years older than me. So
It's right around the same
right
time.
around the same time too.
Yeah.
I got a lot of friends with April birthdays.
Same.
Oddly enough.
Same.
And
your dad.
we do too, and my dad. Yeah, like it's funny, but I wasn't even. I kind of feel bad because like I wanted to reach out to you on your birthday and send a nice text, but I was in my head fucking with my dad the day he came back, like for his birthday. I mean, and then Cambio's birthday was the
Same day as
same
mine,
day.
yep.
So like in my head, I just got lost in the goddamn birthdays, dude.
Yeah, that's why I just talk about it in person. Just, hey, how was your birthday? That's it. That's all you need.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's get into everybody enjoyed the Masters. We're doing a giveaway on Omada Golf's Instagram, so head on over to the page, check it out. You got to follow the page, follow Omada Golf, like the post, comment 3 people, and tag comment tag 3 people.
Maybe want to just redo that.
Tag 3 people and comment who you think is going to win the Masters. Your choice to win 1 rangefinder, a hat of your choice, and a Valona Sunday bag. So all awesome stuff. Over $500 in value. Check out Omada Golf's Instagram and enter the sweepstakes.
And please don't enter that sweepstakes, Caleb, because you.
Yeah, Caleb, chill the fuck out.
Caleb and Nico, you are not allowed to join the Nico. I don't know if you listen to this, but you're not allowed.
Yeah,
you're forbidden from any giveaways from moving forward.
Shout out Caleb, though. Left an amazing review on our product. So shout out Caleb. You're the best. All right, let's get into what are we watching. Josh, was wondering if you heard about this. There's a new Harry Potter series coming to HBO.
I heard that there was some kind of Harry Potter content being in the works. I thought they were going to revive the movies. I didn't know if it was.
So they are, kind of. Each season of the show is going to be a book. So they're doing the movies again, but as a TV show with, obviously new characters, new actors and stuff. So they're going to be able to flesh out the books more. Because you know how people are always like, oh, the book is better than the movies and Harry Potter. They skip over. They cut so much stuff out. So now they're going to
Who's Harry?
No idea. They just announced the show.
Oh, that's dangerous.
I think it's going to be a massive fuck up.
Yeah, I think there's going to be, if they don't use like some of the same actors, especially like Daniel Radcliffe and.
Well, you can't because they start as children.
Oh, that's true.
So you can't.
I think there's going to be a big disconnect with like true Harry Potter fans.
Yeah,
in this new show.
I just don't think there was a reason to do it. Like, I think it's a money grab. I think what you should have done is done a whole new story. If you can get access to the Hogwarts IP, I guess, make a whole new story at Harry Potter with all new characters instead of doing the same books again with different actors and just fleshing it out a little bit more. I don't know. I just feel like it's a money grab and way more of a chance to just fuck it up.
It's tough. Like that stuff, it just depends, like the reality is that world, that cinematic world is probably the best wizard, world that's ever existed. Mm-hmm. And the challenge with it, and it happens all the time. When a reboot happens, if it's done by a really, really good team who knows they need to protect the brand of the original, or they're trying to do something different that without corrupting what's already been done, it could be great. Like an example would be Guillermo del Toro doing Pinocchio at the same time as Disney. Like Disney came out with their Pinocchio with fucking what's his face in it?
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. That movie fucking sucked.
Yeah,
I tried to watch it,
good reviews.
And it was so fucking bad. And I watched the other Pinocchio. It was one of the best movies I've ever fucking watched.
Guillermo del Toro's.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like he did things, and so there's different lights you can shine that wizarding world together in, and if they do a fucking sick-ass wizard show, Colucci, I mean, come on. I watched like 20 hours of that fucking game that came out, like the
Hogwarts Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, but the issue is it's not like they're doing new material. It's going to be based on the books. That's what they said.
But that's like what it is. Like they did, like Andrew, they're going to do new material. If they're doing a show, they're going to have so much stuff that you've never seen before in the other movies because those you forget how
the movies
short
they have
those
to
are.
cut to 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Yeah, dude, that's like no, dude, that's not even a third of most HBO seasons now.
Yeah, that's only like 2.5 episodes of an HBO show.
Yeah, so like they're gonna go into shit. They're gonna go into like I can guarantee you they're going to go into stuff that we've never seen, and I'm excited for. I want new characters. I love Harry. I love that. That story will forever be in my heart, and I will love them forever. But we need some more content. We need some more good, like, Dark Knight style
I thought you were going to
content.
be nervous about this. All right, so you're excited.
Give it a go. What do you have to lose? I mean, I can always go back and rewatch the old movies. I mean, I'll give you an example. They did. You're saying try a whole new thing. Andrew, they did Fantastic Beasts, and we're not even talking about it right now. We didn't even remember it because of how bad those movies were. So go to the original story, but give me a different perspective from it.
Or just flesh it out more. New side points, side plots, all this stuff. I'm all in for it. All right. Does anybody else have a show or movie that they watch? I have a couple, but I'll let someone else take the floor for a second.
I've just been running and gunning with Sopranos, trying to finish that up, so nothing really to report on. A notable mention would be Yellow Jackets Season 2 on Showtime.
Did you see any of it yet?
I've not started watching it yet.
Okay.
But I need to because I only have like 28 days left in my Paramount Plus trial.
I gotta. First of all, I gotta watch a recap of season 1 because I totally forget what happened because I watched it all in one sitting because I have no self-control, and that's about that. So you're not watching Yellow Jackets, are you?
Not yet, but Yellowstone and Yellow Jackets are two that I keep hearing with yellow that I gotta watch.
Yeah, very confusing.
I gotta tell you something. I'm taking a rare approach to this week. I'll tell you. I've watched some new stuff. I watched the Murder Mystery with Adam Sandler and
Murder
Jennifer
Mystery 2.
Murder Mystery 2.
Any good?
Unbelievable.
Okay,
fucking
good.
awesome.
Okay, gonna jot that one down.
I mean, that's a movie I would give like an 8.4. I mean, it's like kind of there's some cheesy aspects to it, but fucking hilarious, super entertaining. But I'm trying to think. One of the things that's been happening to me that's killing me is like my YouTube Shorts feed and my Instagram feed. I guess specifically YouTube Shorts, they thrive. YouTube Shorts, for whatever reason, thrives on like 4 categories. Is like Andrew Tate, at least for me, and I had to shut them out. I hate those. So I don't want anything to do with those videos anymore. Andrew Tate, Elon Musk / space travel in general, and then movies, and shows. And it's like they take these. Are you guys on YouTube Shorts, or am I the only?
No, but I have a very similar thing on TikTok where I get clips from shows and movies that I've seen, and even though I've seen them 1,000 times, I'm like, okay, well, I gotta watch this Breaking Bad clip.
Okay, you nailed it. So
Breaking Bad is
so they revived Breaking Bad through these Instagram Shorts, and it scares me because I know that now we're all just like slaves to the media because I legitimately re-fucking started Breaking Bad like 2 days ago, and I've watched like 2.5 seasons of it already.
Really?
Yeah, and what I decided to do, which is actually, I feel like a lot of power. I'm skipping through all of the Skylar bullshit and the DEA fucking bald-headed fuck bullshit.
You didn't like Hank?
No, I hate Hank. I can't stand any of those characters. They all annoy the fuck out of me. All I want to see is Pinkman and Walt. I don't give a fuck about anybody else.
We've been doing the same thing with Stranger Things. Like whenever it gets to that point where Elle meets Callie, her sister from.
Oh, I've watched that episode once. I never watched it again.
Yeah, exactly. We just skip right over that shit now.
Dude, you watch it a lot faster too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. I mean, I don't want to digress too deep into it, but it's such an unimportant part of the show. It makes no fucking sense.
They literally have never gone back and touched on that once, and that was 2 seasons ago.
Exactly.
Those hour-long shows, what they're doing now in nearly every show is they're following multiple storylines. And when you follow multiple storylines, if you don't like one, just switch to the other. You don't need to know most of what goes on in the other ones. Like, it's all contributing stuff. So I've been loving Breaking Bad. I don't have the anxiety I had when I watched it. I'm not bored. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm blowing through it.
And the thing is, you also, what happens in the Skylar and Hank and all the side character storylines. So, like, you don't need to see it on your second run through.
Exactly.
Like, in the back of your head what's going on. So you're like, okay, that's why Walt is acting like this. Yeah. Okay. I totally get that. I have a movie for you guys to watch. 2 of them, actually. Both came out in the last 5 years. So that's not like I'm fishing back in the well. Movie number 1, A Simple Favor. Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. It's like a mystery suspense thriller. Highly recommend on Amazon Prime. Give it a watch. It's really freaking good. And then I have another one on Amazon Prime called How It Ends, which is like a feel-good apocalyptic movie, which makes no sense, but it's like a girl on the last day of Earth because an asteroid is coming. And it's not like a movie where they're trying to like stop the asteroid, like, oh my God, save humanity. They have all accepted death, and like she's just like going on her day trying to, tie up loose ends before the asteroid hits.
Can I just ask you a dumb really fucking question? Movie.
What?
Have you still not watched Lord of the Rings fucking season?
I have not.
You're coming into this room and you're fucking prancing around telling me to go watch some asteroid movie from 1997.
No, it's from 2021.
Andrew, come on. We're friends, right? I mean, we can talk about things.
I would say coworkers.
Workplace proximity associates.
God damn it,
I know,
Colucci.
I
Fuck,
know. I
man.
have
I
to
mean,
watch it.
what are we doing here? I mean, what the fuck are we doing, Colucci?
Sometimes I like to just watch movies instead of shows.
But asteroids from some
No,
girl
it's
who's
not-
accepting death? I mean, like,
no, it's a feel-good movie.
you don't want to see a fucking pack of orcs, like, blow up a mountain and fucking terraform a landmass for
I know. I'd like to see that. I would see that,
Oh.
but I mean, just not.
You sicken me. You
Not
know
what I
that?
want to watch.
Rip.
I have another confession that it's horrible, and now that it's in the theater, I know I need to see them. I've never seen a John Wick movie.
Neither have I.
Really?
I just don't have
Josh
interest.
was flabbergasted when he found out that I hadn't seen one.
Dude, you watch it and you'll know, like, it's just.
No, I'm gonna
different
watch
kind
them.
of
I'm gonna
movie.
watch them.
It's weird. You don't realize in Hollywood films how much bullshit goes into the fight scenes. It's weird.
Oh yeah, I saw some behind the scenes stuff for John Wick 4 on TikTok about like the stunt guy like literally hurling himself down an escalator.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
But I kind of meant it in a different way. So I mean, like, in a lot of the other like action movies, you'll see like Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible, shit like that, Avengers and all that. You don't realize how fake those fights are until you watch John Wick, because the way they film John Wick is a true assassin. Like, there is no emotional like component where they feel bad or anything like that. And the battle scenes are do or die, live or die.
There's no like corny catchphrases where it's like,
No, like, it's
now I've got you.
It's hard. Yeah. You don't realize how many times people have conversations with people who are on the ground right before they get killed or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Even like in The Sopranos, like Tony says, and he always says this, or no, what's his face? It wasn't Tony. It was one of his associates says, you never see it coming. That's the whole thing about the mob and the way that death happens in the mob. It's not some like big fucking soliloquy off of Shakespeare. It's you just die because it's just quick like that. And John Wick, the way he fights is do or die, live or die, now or never. It's weird to say.
I'm excited to watch them. I'm
awesome.
very excited. I looked them all up and like looked at the reviews for all of them. They're all like astronomically high in
Dude,
reviews.
there's a reason he was like featured in Fortnite, and like everybody for 5 years couldn't stop talking about goddamn John Wick.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna watch it, but you should watch How It Ends. It's very good.
All right.
It's a feel good movie. I promise. But
I'll probably end up watching Lord of the Rings a second time before I watch How It Ends, just so you know.
I'll propose both of those movies tonight in lieu of Sopranos and see what we end up with.
all right. You know, I might be done giving out movie recommendations.
If you watch Lord of the Rings, you're absolved.
All your sins. All your movie sins.
All right, let's transition into the final segment of today's podcast. Freeform stand-up. I have a funny story, but does anybody else have anything else they want to go with?
I didn't really plan anything, but I will say this. It's not really a joke, but you guys might find it funny. Actually, I think it's kind of funny. I noticed that you guys have been talking about extracurricular activities post-work. I know, Colucci, you said that.
I want to join a baseball
You want
league.
to join a baseball league. That's great. Beer league, whatever. And it's nice because it's like, you know what? It's a hobby. It's something to do, and it's technically qualified as exercise. And I started thinking to myself, like, what extracurricular activities can I do after work? And my first thought was boxing. And I'm like, you know, I really want to learn how to box, but like, frankly, I just can't fucking afford it. It's like $100 for a lesson.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Really?
Yeah, I looked into like 2 different places in North Providence near me. But regardless, my second thought was that I think I want to get into metal detecting.
Oh my!
Really?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of metal detecting videos lately. I actually follow this account called X-Finds, big metal detecting guy. He's got like millions of followers. But there's just something cool about like going out into the middle of the wood, and maybe not around like the suburban Providence area, but like back where I grew up, like it's very historic. I think it'd be great to like take a metal detector and go in the woods and like find a button or like a bullet case or just something with historic value. I mean, in my hometown in my Bolton, Connecticut, like Rochambeau, the French troops stayed there near my parents' house during the Revolutionary War. So yeah.
You're gonna start metal detecting.
I'm thinking about
I mean, I love it. Will.
I'm thinking about it.
That's actually pretty funny. That was very funny. That was an odd joke, but like, yeah.
It's not going to provide me with any exercise. I'm not really benefiting much from it, but it is something to do other than watch TV or like play video games.
Dude, you get outside and you start walking, place to place. You still have to walk.
That's true.
If you do that for like 3 hours. Now, my big concern for that is going to be the back pain. because your neck is going to be just down looking all the time.
I'm going to get some of those glasses that have like mirrors built into the top so I can just like look straight and I'll be looking down.
That is
See?
so
I
Put some thought into this.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit dumbfounded. I don't know that I have. That's just fucking hilarious. Like, more power to you. Enjoy the fucking metal detecting.
What's the barrier of entry into metal detecting? Like, how much money does the equipment cost?
I don't know, probably a couple $100. I mean, I haven't gotten to it that far because I don't have a couple $100 to spend on a metal detector.
You could bring like one of those little shovels out. And whatnot.
Yeah, I have a little pack, stuff a couple beers in there, a little shovel, Just get out there. Experience nature.
We should make a video series of Bagel goes metal detecting.
Probably not.
I'm telling you, you're going to laugh, but I'm going to go down to like South Kingston Beach and Narragansett shit at the end of the summer, and I'm going to just dig up all the shit people leave there. Money, jewelry,
there's other people doing it. So like it's not like there's gonna
I'm
be
the only one. I'm the only one.
The only one.
I'm the only one in Rhode Island.
I mean, dude, I once watched a movie, Pacific Rim, where they did that on the beach before the big robot landed on the ocean floor. So I mean,
oh, that is right. That's the opening.
You know where
scene.
they were doing that? It was like the middle of Siberia, where there's nothing else to do.
I think what also spurred that idea was after watching Flight MH370, which is very depressing and sad. But there's like part of that whole series is like they literally, all these like adventure guys are hired to go find debris on like these remote islands in like the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
I'd say that's going to be a lot different than you walking through Narragansett Beach and finding somebody's fucking some guy who left behind a jewel who Colucci who last week fucking lost his jewel out and stuck in the sand.
I lost many jewels to the sand of Narragansett Beach, so they're out there somewhere. We'll find them for me. I have a story happened to me Saturday. I've been keeping it quiet around the office because it's really embarrassing but kind of funny. So it's more of a self-check on myself because, Saturday, 4 p.m. Red Sox game, I obviously had some beverages, and maybe one too many beverages. Post-game, me and my friend go to the bar, and, we bounced around bar to bar because we just wanted to watch the Final Four games. But we also had to keep track of the train because we were supposed to get in the train. We ended up missing it, whatever. One beer becomes too many, and I end up talking to this girl at the bar, and I don't remember anything from the conversation. There's just a quick window of just complete, I don't know what I was saying. All I remember is this girl said she was sitting at the bar next to me, and she was looking really sad. I was like, is everything okay? And she goes, I just texted my ex. I was like, oh no. So that led the conversation.
Who did that?
Some girl. I don't know.
Oh.
So we're talking, just having fun. I end up getting her number, I think, right? And then I flash forward to the Uber. I get the thumbs, the fun thumbs. I'm like, I want to start texting this girl. Here's what I said. Here's the time frame of things that happened. Saturday at 11:06 p.m., I just texted her my name, which means I must have gotten her number somehow. 40 minutes later, I said, so is this actually the girl who I was talking to, or am I tripping on another planet? No response, obviously. 15 minutes later, but regardless, I'm Andrew. I live in Rhode Island. If you want to meet up for a drink, just text me. If I never hear from you again, so be it. With the emoji of the guy with the glasses and the mustache. Not sure why I thought that was funny. Obviously, she did not respond. That was it.
You are the Riz God, Colucci.
I have no idea if that's even the girl I was talking to. I think it is. Because I remember she said she was from Rhode Island because it's a 401 number. And that's it. I just self-destruct myself all the time. And I thought it was really funny.
I love how you introduced yourself twice. You said Andrew Colucci, and then you said, hi, this is Andrew.
Yeah. I woke up and I saw those texts in the morning. I was like, oh, my God. I want to just delete the message, but I wanted to save it for the podcast because I thought it was funny.
Oh, my God. That is really funny. Yeah, I don't know if I'd say the Red Sox game is the best place to pick up girls, Colucci.
Well, if I learned if I controlled myself and freaking didn't drink too much, I would have been fine. But
how so?
I was because this was at like 11:30 p.m.
Yeah.
The game was at 4, you know, like, and I would have never texted her those things, or I would have probably sounded like not such an idiot.
Right.
If
Colucci deleted a lot of beers and then deleted part of his memory from that night.
That is pretty funny, Colucci.
it was pretty funny. I do remember she was really nice, and then her friend came over and started like yelling at me because I was talking to her, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" But
maybe
then
she was drunk.
We were all drunk.
Yeah.
Person there was hammered. And
What is drunk?
I remember having a good time.
Drunk, drinking and driving.
I mean, what is drunk?
Some guys can drink, some guys can't.
Never had a beer before.
But that's the end of my story. Josh, got anything?
Yeah, so I also have a around the Red Sox story that was so fucking pissed me off so much, but it's kind of funny. So I'm first off, when I was going to the Red Sox game, I had to sit in the back seat because I was going with my mom and dad, and my mom and my dad think it's appropriate to sit there and talk about the goddamn farm for an hour and a half straight of driving into Boston. And I have no impact on the conversation, and that shit pisses me off. Like, I was like, what the fuck? I'm sitting back here like a chump. I can't hear a goddamn thing because the BMWs have some kind of like subsequence fucking invisible shield from the top row to the back row, and I can't fucking hear anything. And so they fucking babbled on about farm shit, and I had beef with that. Anyways, we start getting closer from like the roads, and you know, for whatever reason, my father believes truly that he was destined to be an F1 racer. And him driving this electric car that goes 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds is not a good fucking thing. All right, for anybody involved. So I'm flying around the back seat. I'm getting whiplash in my because this motherfucker's driving, taking the lean on like he's fucking you know, I don't know, Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the NASCAR track. And it's pissing me, like, it's pissing everybody off. Like, I don't want to deal with that. I'm getting nauseous. And meanwhile, he's asking me to do directions. So I'm like fucking looking down at my phone while I'm getting thrown around. And I'm like about to puke, like, before we even get into the city. We get into the city, and we go to the Red Sox game, and now we're driving out of the city. And it was a frustrating process to get in, by the way. Like, to get to that place, we took 8 different turns. You know, it was 8 wrong turns, and it was a really stupid process.
It's never your dad's fault either.
No. You know, my mom and I are sitting there, and I'm like, she's like, bring me to the players' lot. So I like look up on Google because there's no address for the players' lot. So I look up like Fenway Park, whatever players' lot, and it drives us to the wrong place in Boston, just like 8 minutes away from where it was ridiculous. And but of course, like he's getting more and more frustrated. He doesn't like city driving; it stresses him out. But anyways, we're driving out of the game, and I'm sitting in the front seat because the nausea from going up was so horrible. And I'm like, Dad, I was like, what do you need me to do? He's fumbling around in the middle of stop and go traffic in the middle of Boston. He's fumbling around with the fucking screen. He's trying to do different shit. And I'm like hitting his hand out of the way, like, Dad, like, I got it. Like, what do you need me to do? I'm your co-pilot. And he's like, he grunts now. He grunts. Like, he doesn't even speak with his words. He just goes, so I'm like trying to interpret. This is like interpretive grunt / like hand motion. So I'm getting like, and anyways, and the last piece of it is like, all he was trying to do was basically search something that he was thinking about from the internet. Like, It was like he was doing an internet search while he was driving through the screen, through Apple CarPlay, of like some random topic that was a half an hour ago. And then he was getting upset with my mom and I when we were like, let me fucking do it, you old kook. Like, what are you doing? So, I mean, it was just a funny-ass event that, like, I guess old dogs just, they're stuck in their ways, dude.
Dads versus GPS is a tale as old as time.
A tale as old as time, dude. He doesn't give a fuck. He'll crash that motherfucker. And, you know, everybody involved just to look up who won the American World Series in 1997 or some you know what I mean? Like, who was on that? Was it Pedro or was it fucking Martinez? Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
I think it's like maybe it's a dad thing. Like, my dad, like, drives like an absolute, no, I wouldn't say psychopath, but just drives unnecessarily fast. Like when we went up to Vermont the other weekend for our trip, we left an hour and a half early. We did not need to leave that early, but we left that early because, it's 4.5 hour, 5 hour drive. And, you're probably going to make a few stops on the way, stretch your legs, whatever. And actually, I'm sorry, he drove back and we had plenty of time. We left at 9 a.m., This motherfucker's driving 85 miles an hour on the way home, and we got home in like 3 hours. and Marissa's in the front seat because she's got vertigo too. So I'm the chump in the back seat while Dave's going 85 miles an hour after we just spent 4 days drinking and skiing.
Not great.
Yeah, dude, and it's real. Like if you look down at your screen, dude, you get so nauseous. And here he is telling me, he's up yelling at me like, "Going to the wrong place, going to the wrong place," and then he's like. He's swatting hands out of the way. He's trying to do him. He just gets frustrated with the whole entire ecosystem of a vehicle and driving. I don't know.
That's why you just GPS beforehand. Never change anything.
And Andrew's dad, on the other hand, just falls asleep at the wheel and drives us off the road. What, Andrew? What? Or better yet, does his legal proceedings from his fucking laptop on his lap while he's driving a motor vehicle.
Yeah, that man, It's insane. It's scary, especially with like friends in the car. I'm like, Dad, you fucking like my life is one thing, but like, Jesus Christ, we have our friends in the back seat.
We all have to do that to our dad. Like, my life is one thing, but we got children in the back here, guy. Like, what are you looking at the sunset for? Like, eyes on the road, dude.
It's insane. But that's going to wrap up T-Box Talk episode 47 or 48. Thank you so much for listening. Head on over to Omada Golf's Instagram. Join the Masters giveaway sweepstakes. We're going to be giving away $500 worth of goods. It should be a lot of fun. Everybody enjoy the Masters. Thank you so much for listening. Like, rate, subscribe. Follow us on TikTok as well at T-Box Talk Pod or at Omada Golf. Check out our YouTube at Omada Golf for full video casts. Boys, thank you so much for participating. Fun episode. See you all next weekend and have a great weekend.
See ya.